Here is how you're going to start loving your personal style by the end of 2024. Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we have one of my favorite topics to talk about, and that is personal style and how you can start to embody your own personal style without looking like a carbon copy of every other person that you see online. I was just thinking recently, and I think a lot of you guys can relate to this as well. Like, I am so sick and tired of the aesthetics game. I'm so sick and tired of seeing the same basics being put on a Pinterest board. And I think possibly this is sort of a symptom of all of us being chronically online a lot of the time. However, I think that even like within your geographical location, there are these sort of like style trends that you see everybody wearing, and you're looking around thinking like, since when did Birkenstocks become trendy? Or like, you know what I mean? Like, there's something that you're suddenly seeing everybody wearing. There's no way that everybody just decided by themselves that that was exactly their style and exactly what they wanted to wear. So there's some sort of like group think that goes around. But today's video is going to be all about how you can kind of start to pull yourself back from that like peer influence and online influence and start to really reclaim your own personal style, what lights you up, what makes you happy, what makes you shine, and what you genuinely love to wear. Okay, so let's go. The first point that I'm going to make is I recommend that you get off your socials for a while. Personally, I have been off Instagram for several weeks, if not months now, which is pretty crazy for me to even say that, considering that it was like always the first icon that I would tap on my phone. If I was ever bored or distracted or whatever, I would sometimes just like find myself picking up my phone and automatically going into that app. I felt so burnt out from being in that space, from trying to create in that space, and from kind of just like, I don't know, like the endless scroll. You know how it is. I have not wanted to dip my toes back into those waters since like coming off of that app. And it wasn't in my mind this like big planned, I'm going to do it for 30 days or something. I just knew for my mental health, I needed to step back and step away. And how I feel like it's impacted my personal style is like, I'm no longer comparing. I'm no longer thinking about what Tom, Dick, and Harry are wearing. I'm no longer looking outside of myself for inspiration. I'm finally just me, my preferences, my thoughts, my wardrobe, and also my lifestyle. Anyway, I found it incredibly energizing, and I just highly recommend, if you can, and if you feel like you resonate with any of what I've just said, it can be so helpful and healthy to take yourself away from those sort of spaces, the socials that you spend a lot of time on, especially if you feel like they're draining your energy. I'm not someone who has a lot of FOMO, so this was not like the hardest decision for me to make, but it did take me a few months leading up to that point of like, okay, it's enough is enough now, okay? So I'm not saying like you have to get off social media, but I'm just saying try it out, see if it works for you, because I can guarantee you that you are going to reclaim some of your energy, you're going to feel rejuvenated in your wardrobe, and you're going to feel like this pressure has just lifted. Like, you don't need to compare yourself to any other person's life anymore. The thing with influencer culture, and like, this is so funny coming from a YouTuber, you know, but I kind of think of us more like as style besties. I don't really think of myself as an influencer. Anyway, the thing with influencer culture is that you end up seeing the same items kind of like again and again on different people. It sort of starts to become this like normalized image that you're seeing. If there are always creators that you're watching or specific influencers that you're watching, and like across the board, a few of them are, say, recommending the same products, or, you know, getting sent the same PR items, because that tends to happen. Like brands will send them out to like lots of influencers at the same time. So you kind of get this influx of an influence from one brand over multiple influencers. I hope that makes sense. And suddenly it's like something is on your radar that you might not have known about otherwise, you might not have seen otherwise. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with brand deals or sponsorships, like girls got to make a living, okay? Being aware as a consumer that you're being like kind of advertised to in a way. And I know most of us are very, very aware of that. Like, we're not under the illusion that like somebody just, this brand just popped out of the ground like a daisy. But it's such a subtle way that it influences our preferences and it influences our tastes even. So that if you're watching, certain people and you appreciate their taste and you appreciate their style, you sometimes start to align your style more closely to their style. I don't know what it is. It's again some of that that kind of peer influence where you feel like, oh, she likes it, so it must be good. And even if you thought it was kind of ugly the first time that you saw it, maybe then you get it reinforced by seeing on another person's page or seeing it over on Instagram or, seeing it elsewhere. So I think this sort of culture of the it bag and the shoes of the season or whatever it is, whatever the trend is, you kind of have this normalization process because you're seeing it in multiple different places. And I know that for myself, sometimes my tastes can be swayed from seeing something in multiple different places and being shown by women that I enjoy watching, influencers that I also enjoy watching. Anyway, I don't know if any of us are really immune to this. I know some people have a very, very strong core of a personal style and they just are uninfluenceable. But I think for the vast majority of us, our opinions are kind of flexible. Our opinions are, open to influence, basically. Anyway, this video is not meant to be a rant about social media and influence and influencer culture because I actually really enjoy being in this space, really enjoy fashion and really enjoy sharing things that I find work for me as well. So anyway, I just recommend if you can, take yourself away from social media, stop comparing your life to others and see if this has a meaningful impact on your personal style. Number 2, you need to become obsessed with yourself. Okay, it's not what you're thinking, okay? It's not in some vain, shallow, weird way, but if we think about it like this, you are the leading lady in your own story, okay? Or if you're one of the 2% of men that watch this channel, you're the leading man in your own story, okay? The way towards your personal style is through deeply knowing and accepting yourself, who you are on a very deep level. A lot of people mistake personal style as this kind of shallow endeavor, but truly it is that deep. It's a journey of self-discovery. It's a journey of knowing who you are. It's a journey of standing in your confidence and showing up in the world the way that you want to be seen, really. And so when you sort of become obsessed with yourself, it's more so that you're not actually obsessing over anybody else. You're not sending your attention outwards onto anybody else's life. You're really being swimming in your own lane, standing in your own power, being very interested in yourself, your preferences, the little details that spark joy for you, the little facets of your personality that you want to shine and want to bring forward, want to share with the world. And then I think also it's just realizing that who you are in any given moment in time is enough. And that is not a power that you can give away to someone else to decide whether you are enough. That is for you to decide. You get to choose, I am enough. Essentially, you don't have to change in any way in particular. You don't have to be the most perfect version of you. You don't have to be a better version of you. You can just be who you are in this moment, and that is enough. There's often this sort of pitfall on the path to personal style that we always have to show up as the most stylish version of ourselves, or we always have to be doing the most. And you know what? As humans, we're flexible. We are not going to feel the same one day to the next. So all you can do on any given day, in any given moment, is just the best that you can with the energy that you have in that moment. And I think a lot of us get kind of hard on ourselves for not living up to the expectations that we had for ourselves or for any given day of the week, or oh, maybe I looked better in my outfit yesterday. But yeah, it's sort of letting go of that perfectionism a little bit and leaning more into who am I underneath the clothes, not the naked version. Not you as a naked human being, but who am I deeply inside myself, and allowing that part of you to come forward and be seen by people. The most iconic women, style icons through history, do you think they were asking their friends, do I look good in this? What are you wearing tonight? No, they were asking themselves, they were trusting themselves, and they were carving their own paths. So it really is about like diving inward, looking inward, accepting who you are, and standing confidently in your own decisions. You know, this is my taste, this is who I am, this is what I like, this is what I enjoy. All right, enough said. Number 3, okay? I think we actually need to forget about basics. I feel like basics are ruining our style. You guys know, okay, we do have staples and building blocks in our wardrobes that are foundational for our personal style, that are foundational for building good outfits. I feel like there's a difference between the staples that we love and like the basics that we always get sold. I had so many of you agreeing with me about the whole white button-down shirt just not being something that works for you in your lifestyle, in your personal style. So I feel like what that really hit home to me was like, there are so many opinions. There are so many opinions in the world, and the only one that really matters, again, is yours. The only person who should be dressing you is you. I just had to take my jumper off. I'm getting warm. At any rate, your staples, your building blocks, they should be stamped with your personal stamp of approval. The fit, the color, the drape, the structure, the shape, where it hits on your body, how it hangs on your body, all those tiny exquisite details that you prefer for your items to have and to also not have. It's very important for your staples to be something that are actually yours, and not something that you got off a list on Pinterest, and not something that someone else with a different lifestyle has also recommended to you, because we all know they don't work for us at the end of the day, and we just end up with wasted money and like wasted expectations. So I used to be somebody who really was focusing on like buying the most basics that I could, and then waiting until later to sort of inject the personality into the pieces that I was buying. But then you just end up with this like wardrobe that like just does not speak to you, and all of your basics are suddenly like strangers in your house. Like you just don't know what to do with them. Make sure that they are basics that are yours. Make sure that they're staple items that you love. Make sure that they tick all the boxes that you need for them to tick, and be very real and very honest with yourself about what those boxes are, what your lifestyle is. I'll link a video down below from Hannah Louise Poston, and you probably have already seen it because it's a pretty viral video at this point. Just all about how she sort of structures her like wardrobe and what are the practical considerations to take into account when you're actually building your wardrobe. Okay, so next I really wanted to talk about the opposite of our staples, and these, well, actually they probably could be staples too, but these are our 1%, our top 1%, our ride or die pieces, the pieces that if our house was burning down to the ground, we would go into our wardrobe and grab them out of our wardrobe and take them with us out of the house. Obviously, after pets, family members, all of that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying, okay? These are our absolutely favorite pieces that we own, even if they're pieces that you don't necessarily wear every single day or aren't appropriate for year round. We're not really thinking about versatility here. We're just thinking about the love factor. We're thinking about, does this spark joy? We're thinking about like, is this one of my favorite pieces to wear? Whether it's practical or not is kind of not really in the consideration list right now. Recently in a video, Daily Helen spoke about, I think it was one of her decluttering videos. She was talking about, if I could only have one of these pieces, would this particular item be the one that I would choose? And I'm not really thinking about this in terms of like you have to skim down your wardrobe to only have your ride or die pieces and nothing else. It's more so like this is the energy that we're trying to bring when we're going shopping. This is the energy that we're trying to bring when we're deciding, is this something that I want to wear or not? If we can always be looking at our wardrobe, always be looking at our shopping from the lens of like reaching for the thing that we love the most in the world. I'm not saying you're going to find it every single time, but as long as you're bringing that energy with you, you are going to make better shopping choices, better style choices, and your personal style is going to become more and more aligned to you, to your loves, to your preferences, to the things that you genuinely just adore and bring you happiness and bring you joy. there are certain things that we love, and it doesn't have to be like the most, you know, expensive like summer dress that you got from like that really cool brand that everyone talks about. It could be like your old worn t-shirt that you only wear in bed, but you nonetheless absolutely love it and you could not live without it. It's like a comfort piece to you. Like there are so many pieces in our wardrobes that we personally love. That's really what it's all about. It's about finding the pieces that you love and then discovering like what is it about those pieces that really makes you treasure them so much, so that you can have that on your radar as you build your personal style, as you move forward with your personal style, and as you continue to make decisions about what to wear. I think also it kind of lessens distractions a little bit because it's so easy for your eye to be caught by this, that, and the next. But if you have that grounding, you know, question in your mind of like, but would this be the one piece that I would choose? Like, yes, it might be a bargain. Yes, it might be on sale. Or like, yes, it might be available here in the secondhand market right now. But is it that God tier level? Is it the level where like I would forsake all others for this one piece? It's just a different lens to put on your wardrobe. And yeah, I love using this. I'm going to use this going forward for my personal style as well. It also really helps to sort of dim down those voices of like doubt that you might have, or like any self-sabotaging behaviors that you might have with regards to your personal style. Because if you can focus on how much you genuinely love something, you're so much more likely to wear it and to wear it with confidence than if you're sort of focusing more so on like, do I look good enough? Or like, you know what I mean? Like, do I deserve to wear this? Or like, are people going to think I'm overdressed? Or like, whatever the story is that you're telling yourself. So shifting the focus onto like how much you love and appreciate something it's just only going to bring you good places. It's only going to push you forward in your personal style, in my opinion. And so then just riding off the back of that last point, like, what are the silhouettes that you just die for? Like, what are the heart-stopping moments as far as silhouettes and outfit combinations that you just really love and adore? I'll give you an example from my life, okay? I was driving my kids around trying to get them to sleep a couple nights ago, and I still remember it's like this slow motion like vision in my mind. As we were driving past this house, somebody was like reaching up to grab something on a shelf, and they had the most gorgeous sleeve on their arm. It was like kind of like loosely cuffed right about here, but then like a balloon, like loose, flowy, like probably cotton voile or something like that sleeve. And they were just reaching up and the light was coming through. It was like a semi-sheer fabric. It's like nothing sexual or anything like that. They were in their kitchen, I think. But like they were just reaching up, and I just like saw this gorgeous like balloon shape of the sleeve enveloping the arm. And like, to me, I love those silhouettes. I love those like loose, flowy, like enveloping the body, but like not suctioned on too tight. Those kind of silhouettes are always going to be so inspiring to me. They're always going to draw me in. They're always going to catch my eye. And so I am thinking for myself, like, how can I incorporate that into my wardrobe? How can I keep that love and that joy that I see in other people's outfits, and like kind of bring it to my wardrobe and start to carry that around on my body rather than just admiring it on other people. I think by focusing as well on a lot of the shapes, the silhouettes, and like thinking about an outfit as a whole as well, instead of just pieces, you know, how the piece looks hanging in your wardrobe as a 2D entity. Like, how does it work when it's on your body? How does it make you feel when you move your body? Does it invite movement? Does it allow you to hold yourself up a little bit taller? Your clothes help your like posture, and they kind of allow you to carry yourself differently depending on like the mood and the vibe that the whole outfit is bringing you. At least that's how it works for me, and hopefully like let me know in the comments, is this just an Alanna thing, or like do you get what I'm saying here? I feel like outfits as they are as a whole, and like especially silhouette and like how it moves and drapes on the body, it just creates such a different vibe depending on what it is, you know? And I think for me, this is just one of those absolutely key things to keep in your mind as you're building your personal style. Like, how does this feel on my body? Like, how do I move when I'm wearing this outfit? And what is the kind of overall vibe that this whole outfit is bringing? because personal style and mood, I feel like they're so closely aligned and they can impact each other so heavily. I will be doing a video soon on enclothed cognition as well, which dives a little bit more deeply into this concept for those of you who are interested. Anyway, keep this in your mind. Which silhouettes melt your heart? Which outfits just like feel like heaven to wear? Just think about these as you're creating outfits and make sure that you document them. Either take photos or have them on your Pinterest board or something, even just a little note written down in your phone, so that you know the outfits and the silhouettes that make you feel your best, that you're drawn to, or maybe that you just always see on other people and love, but you haven't yet figured out a way how to wear it yourself yet, because you will figure out a way, okay? All right, my camera battery light is flashing at me, so I think it's time to go, but I will see you so shortly in my next one, and thanks for being here. Bye.